Sit down and heal with Coach Derek. We here now, y'all. We here. So my name is Coach Derek, and I am your favorite relationship coach. You didn't know that yet, but I'm also your favorite healing journey coach. That's right, y'all. I teach y'all how to heal. And this show is primed up for you to learn some things about your healing journey, as well as how you interact in your relationships and how the two interact with each other. So we're going to talk about not only the information, but some of the solutions. And because I'm a coach off of the app, I can help you with some tools, some tactics, some lessons to help you further your journey, and you don't have to do it by yourself. So, welcome to Sit Down and Heal with Coach Derek, and the name is aptly titled because some of y'all are just outside doing too much. Sometimes you got to sit down and heal first. So, tonight's topic, relationship trauma and your mental health. And as everybody knows, well, most of you, well, some of y'all don't know because I think I didn't know at first. This month is Minority Mental Health Month, so I decided to do, and I may do another mental health topic next week as well. But this one is, we've all gone through some things. It's near and dear to me because my relationship trauma definitely affected my mental health, and I'm sure most of us have been through something. So let me pull up my little notes here to make sure we're doing everything the way that it should. And then we're going to get busy with this topic. So, relationship trauma. We're going to parse it out into two sections, and then we're going to merge the two. Y'all know how I do. So, relationship trauma. So, a lot of us wouldn't necessarily call it trauma. We would call it pain, hurt. I'm devastated. My heart is broken. But when you carry all of that past the relationship, for a lot of us, it's pretty traumatic. The separation is pretty traumatic. Being by yourself is pretty traumatic. To try to go back out and date again and be afraid to do it, right? So when you have that deep trauma, and the reason why for a lot of us it's a lot more traumatic than others is because when you have, and you guys will learn this if you get coached by me, if you have childhood wounds, if you have a certain type of attachment style, it makes you grab onto people a little tighter than we should, right? We want to attach, cling. Some of us are people pleasers, so we want to please them before we even think about ourselves. We put ourselves last on the plate. So when it comes time to break up or depart, it stings a little bit. It stings a lot a bit, right? And we hold on to it because we attach so deeply. Some of us can't let go. Some of y'all are still in those relationships right now, right? But when you detach and you carry that trauma from the relationship, some of us deal with some things, right? Some of us deal with some things that fall under the umbrella of your mental health, like depression, anxiety, stress. We carry it into our households with our kids. We carry it to work. We're not right, right? Depression, right? That's not nothing to laugh at, right? Think about it. Your depression comes from you breaking up with somebody, right? And the pieces that I put here, the reason why I call it Sit Down and Heal is because there's going to be a theme of healing on every show. Why do you hold on to it so deeply? Were you a person who was primed to be depressed after a relationship because of something that happened before you met the person, right? This is the work. This is part of the healing journey and the understanding. When you deal with said trauma from relationships, and you guys love to use this word narcissists and all, I call them all predatory daters, right? Predatory relationships. They all fall under the same umbrella. These people that we would call predatory daters, they're looking for people that have a deficiency in something. And it is their job to figure out what it is so that they can fill it in without you noticing. Let's take a breathe break. It will make you have a false sense of security, and it will also make you attach to someone earlier than you should emotionally. Breathe again. So now, when you break up, it got a little extra stank on it now. Because they got you early. They caught you slipping. Right? You'll say they lied to me. They deceived me. They manipulated me. They got you. So when you detach, it's like you lost a limb. And if it's something that you're used to using, like your arm or your leg, you're going to miss it. You're going to need it. You're going to crave it. You're going to try to go no contact, but you can't because it hurts, right? I'm painting a picture for y'all. I don't want y'all to just hear me on these shows. I want you to feel it. So now you hurt. I'm taking you on a journey. That hurt is so devastating, and you don't have the tools to heal. You don't know how to do it. Your friends are telling you to stay home and don't go outside because you need to work on you. But nobody ever taught you how to do it. You don't have any resources. You just have yourself. The pained, traumatic person has to sit and figure it out on their own in the middle of the pain. It doesn't happen often. So what do? Because you don't want to feel bad. You have to find a way to feel better. You got to find a way to cope with the pain with no tools. So as a human, our human brain, it catalogs. It's a catalog in there. Let me tell you what the catalog is. The catalog in your brain when you are hurt has a list of things that give you a dopamine high. Companionship. I'm trying to choose my words for TikTok. Adult recreational bedroom stuff. Going to the club. Having a drink. Drugs. Your brain knows. And without guidance, you will choose one because you have an immediate need. You will choose one. And when you do, that choice a lot of times does not, well, I would say most times, does not solve the problem. It's a temporary fix. And just like any drug, when it wears off, you want more. So you're outside when you shouldn't be, and you don't care because it feels good. This is why a lot of you end up in situationships, because it feels good. Right? So now, your relationship trauma that you're holding on to, that you're learning how to cope with and function in, because you still got to go to work, right? Pay attention. You still got to be a parent. You still got to take care of your elderly parents. You still got to function. You got to pay bills. How does one function when you just received the most horrible trauma of your life? You do not know how to heal. You're finding little things to help you cope. And some of you guys on that list of things is isolation from the world. You're going to pick one because you're human. We can only take but so much pressure before we make a decision. And sometimes we don't pick anything, and then it lends itself into some dysfunctional mental health stuff like depression and anxiety. Some of you guys have anxiety over just going back outside. Some of you have anxiety of just meeting a person. Some of you guys have anxiety because you don't want to feel anything close to that trauma again, right? I got the passport and the stamps on that. My passport full of stamps. So now, some of us have learned how to cope and function, and a lot of us haven't. We sit in it. We stew in it. We stress over it. We can't move on. We don't know which way is up. We're depressed. We're stressed. We have anxiety. Sometimes we have all three. It's hard to get out of the bed because you attached yourself to this person when you had a deficiency of something like self-esteem, self-worth, self-love. You never vetted the person before you met them because you were just looking for somebody to make you feel good. So you're stuck. Because before you met the person, you were already on empty. You go in empty. That person gives you a pacifier, and when you leave, you're no more full than you were in the beginning. Now you're worse because now you have trauma to add on top of it. Because we wasn't never taught about a healing journey. We just got up and went back outside and threw some hope up in the air and hope it landed somewhere, right? Because we didn't want to be by ourselves forever. So we played around, some of us, right? Some of us, we played relationship. We played connectivity because we didn't want to call it something that would lead us to that pain that we felt. Meanwhile, you're going through. Your mental health is now challenged. Like I said, you don't want to get out of bed. And you think, pay attention, you think it's because of the person you just left. And I know some of y'all are like, it is. They the one that hurt me, right? That's why some of y'all need to be coached by me. Just earmark that. I might need to get coached if I think it was only them. So this is how some of you guys' minds work. I was the good one. They were the bad one. They hurt me. I was innocent, right? But your healing journey demands more information from you, right? Sometimes you got to sit down and heal. You got to sit down because you need to think and process, right? So now, and those of you who have been with me for a while will know exactly what I'm about to say. Now, you are upset. You pissed off. They hurt you. They cheated. They did all the things. And you say, I didn't do anything wrong. I was the perfect wife. I was the perfect girlfriend. I was the perfect husband. I was the perfect boyfriend. And they hurt me. And when you come to coaching, what I'll ask of you is, and I said at the top of the show, who were you before you met them? Because unbeknownst to you, pay attention to what I'm about to say. You were dealing with some things, right? Some of y'all may call it baggage, issues, whatever. What we tend to do as humans is we know we have to function. So all of those things that may even lend itself into your mental health were masked with functionality, with let me just make sure my parents are happy. Let me make sure I'm a good parent. Let me make sure that I follow the schedule so that I can function. But the mental health stuff was still there. Because if you look at most of our lives, you might have had fun doing certain things. You might have moved a certain way, but you never called it coping. I need for y'all to stay there for a minute. Breathe. You never called it coping. But you were masking something for a lot of years, maybe even decades, that you never worked on. And with that mindset, those of you who've had multiple relationships, you will start to see a pattern of choices based on the thing that you didn't work on or the thing that you did not know that was there from your childhood. You find this out by looking at who you chose. You find this out by looking at where you stayed too long when you should have left. You find this out about when you look at who you become when you break up. This is the work, right? So now you start to look at yourself and you say, yeah, they hurt me, but who am I really? Why am I so depressed? Why am I so stressed out about this? Why can't I stop answering the phone calls and I've been broken up for 3 months? Are they just that good at manipulating me? Or is it me that can't let go? What part of me needs this? Why can't I sit by myself and be okay? These are the questions that we very seldomly do not answer. Why? Because we'd rather find a way to cope with it than to fix it. So then you start to put things into your life to distract you from fixing it. Because you're not going to go to therapy. You're not going to get coaching. You're going to go to brunch with your girls. You're going to take a trip to Cancun. You're going to go to a nice restaurant and treat yourself. You're going to go get your nails done. Fellas, you're going to go play basketball with the fellas more than normal. You're going to go to the cigar more than you ever did and drink more than you ever did and call it fun when it's really coping. And the reason why we know this is that doing all of these things still did not change your habits and behavior, because we can see your next choice. Now, some of you make the choice to never go outside again because of that fear, right? Still not working on the fix, which means it's still inside your body. You're just pretending it's not there. So your coping mechanism to remove the triggers, remove the people who might hurt you out of your life, still have you sitting at home, a lot of you, pretending to tell the world that you're okay. And this has nothing to do with you being single. Because I know some of y'all are going to be like, I'm happy like this. No, there's still trauma living in your body. And you have built the world around making yourself feel good so that you don't have to think about it or work on it. And then comes the magical day where you say, you know what? I want to go date again. Now, what do you think's going to happen after 3 years of hiding? Let me give you an example. Most of us went to grade school, right? And when you entered into grade school as a freshman, especially you ladies, who was trying to talk to you the most? Was it other freshmen or was it upperclassmen? You can put it in the comments. Who tried to get to you more? Was it your peers in your same grade or was it upperclassmen looking for fresh meat? Now we know why this is. When the fresh meat comes out on the scene, they're a little more naive. They're a little more gullible. You can pull the wool over their eyes a lot easier because they don't have enough experience. When you don't date for 3 years, you're 3 years deficient of experience. Your experience is from 1998. They will smell you. And sometimes you go back out there with a little bit of desperation on your breath. They smell that too. But you think that you figured it out. What I'll do, I just won't date somebody like the one that hurt me. And then that'll be your qualifier. All of the vetting, all of the standards and boundaries don't matter as long as they're not like the one that hurt me. So then you think, pay attention to where I'm about to go. You think that when you pick someone opposite of them, that this will then yield better results. But catch what I'm going to say. If you have unresolved trauma, especially from your childhood, it won't matter if they're opposite or not because you are the same. So there will be an element of them that you are choosing from that version of you, even though they look and behave the opposite of the person that hurt you, your reasons for connecting to them are exactly the same. But you don't realize this because you think you figured it out. But guess who else figured out that you're at a deficiency of information and knowledge about how to move out here? The narcissists, the predators, the players, because they're looking at you like, why she let me do this? I didn't even have to work for it. Where her boundaries at? She must be broken. I want that one. When the last time you been out on a date? Oh, it's been about 3 years. So now they looking at 3 years. That means she ain't even been outside. Okay. What type of food you like? I like steak. You know, I make an amazing ribeye. Let me cook that for you. Okay. Those of y'all in the comments, what is that guy to you at this stage? Please type it out. I'll wait for 2 seconds. So, when this person pushes past the boundary, right, stranger, when a stranger gets benefits without you vetting him or her, you now become a target, and it only took me 1 day to figure it out. Because you didn't get coached by Coach Derek, right? Once they figured that out on that first conversation, because you've accepted a yes when it should have been a no. See, here's the interesting thing about predatory daters. They know where your boundaries are supposed to be. So in turn, they know where to test you. So if they push something and you say, okay, they're like, oh, okay, this is going to be easier than I thought. All right, I don't even really have to do that much work. And she hasn't dated anybody in 3 years. So what I'm going to do with her is going to be amazing because she's not used to it. Oh, nobody's ever done this for me. Got you. So now, let's get back to the topic. When you dive in this deep so fast and you create a relationship around vibes and feelings, when the breakup happens, you are destroyed because you're like, I don't know what happened. Because before you entered into the relationship, you were at a deficit of information. You were a deficit of habit changes in order for you to be better outside. You don't even know who you are because you didn't heal from the last 3 relationships. The only thing that you've achieved is staying inside, not working on it, not even identifying what it is. And you are now an amalgamation of all the things that you've been through traumatically from those relationships. So when you go back outside, there's going to be some things that you're going to run from and you're going to get triggered from because of all the stuff you did not purge. Guess who can tell when you're triggered and when you move differently? Predators. It's easy to spot. Your traumas leaves clues. But all you want to do is just go outside and meet your person. Well, how could you meet your person if you don't know who you are? It's impossible. How can you build boundaries around yourself if you don't know who you are? It's impossible. You're going to take a breathe break. Right? Now, I talk about a lot of this stuff ad nauseum, but because this is a new show, Sit Down and Heal with Coach Derek, we're going to talk about a little bit of the things that y'all should know from me. Y'all haven't gotten coaching though, but y'all should know this, right? When you, I'm going to say it real slow, do not have awareness of who you are, when you go outside you will be finding people that are attracted to an exterior version of you that's not the real you. Let me paint a picture for you. If you have gone through trauma that you have masked, if you have created an image of you that is acceptable to your friends and your family and society and your job and your kids, and the real you is inside, and sometimes that real you is 10 years old, but the real you is inside, like, I'm not getting served at all. But it's them, not me. I'm good. When you enter into a dating situation or even a relationship, and that person that you met fell in love with that functional shell, even while you're in the relationship, you're still not getting served the way that you should, because that person on the inside that you have not realized is in there because you've been dysfunctional for so long. That person falls in love with that version of you, and you'll be in a relationship for years and be unhappy. And you won't know why. And you'll try to find a way to make it their fault. Think about it. The person that you have created to mask your traumas is who they're falling in love with. It's not the real you. Well, it is the real you now. What are you going to do about it? Think about it. Where you go out and date, and you're out on the dating scene and you're crying about how everybody's crap and, oh my God, this dating pool has got pee in it and everybody on the planet Earth is bad but me, right? You start saying this to yourself. But then when you come to get coached by me, I'm going to ask you, do you even know who you are? Do you even know what you need from a relationship? Do you even know how to take care of yourself? When's the last time you sat down and really thought about working on you? And surprisingly enough, and we're not talking about young people either, a lot of people don't know the answer to it. Think about this. If we are a community, a society of people who have not even realized who they are, how would you even know what you need? You know you need standards and boundaries, but what do you build? You don't build standards and boundaries on nothing, because you don't know who you are. But you need to be with someone. So you go out there with the wrong boundaries or no boundaries, and you attach. I'm using these words on purpose. You attach to someone. I didn't say align, right? Equally yoked, core values match. No, not that. Attached. You attach to someone so that the things that you didn't work on feel better. It's like a big pacifier. And it feels amazing. You're going to run into the ladies, you're going to run into that guy, and he's going to be like, I really like you. I just don't want you to hurt me. So many women that I've dated, they just don't get it. Like, I just want somebody to care about me. And then you be like, me too. We're the same. I've been hurt too. Let's go together. Your whole vetting process is destroyed because of familiarity. Pay attention. I'm using these words on purpose. I'm a mad scientist up here. Familiarity. So if we are sometimes choosing our dates based on something that feels familiar, what is that thing that feels familiar? Is it dysfunction? Is it abuse? Is it manipulation? Is it lying? Why do we keep going when it feels like this? Is that them making me to keep going? or is it me? That's why part of the healing journey that you do with me is identifying who you were before you met each one of them. That's who you really are. Your behavior always tells a story. Always tells the story. Why? Because the majority of communication is nonverbal. Y'all gonna learn today. Every Tuesday we getting this. And then here's the thing. Y'all wanna know something funny? This ain't even the coaching. This not the coaching. This PSA that this ain't the coaching. This is like 10%, 5% of what you would get when you work with me. We will figure you out. We will find a pattern. And we will work on your healing journey together. Anybody that work with me, I don't leave you hanging. But I can't want it more than you. So, think about this. If you are going from date to date, looking for something that feels familiar, and that familiar thing is directly tied into your trauma or some kind of dysfunction, you're always going to complain about the dating pool having pee in it. Because you're the P too. You shouldn't even be in there. Because you're not ready. You're looking to be attached and not aligned. And unfortunately, those of you who are looking to be attached have a target on your back. Because your behavior tells the story. You're going to let me pass through your boundaries without even trying hard. And that's when I'm going to know there's some pain there. If I'm one of these type of people. And a lot of you have none, right? Some of you can say, I have them, but they ran past them. A lot of y'all don't have any. And what you'll do is you'll use these phrases that I'm about to say. I fall in love easy. I fall hard when I'm into somebody. I just can't help myself. It's just who I am. I can't stop myself from falling for somebody that I like. Think about that. You can't stop yourself from attaching to somebody too soon because it's just who you are. So if you're claiming that that's who you are you that you can't stop when it doesn't feel right? And y'all be like, it's because I'm a Scorpio. Y'all need to stop with that. It's because there's trauma. Breathe. People pleasers, empaths, nurturers, fixers, your boundaries suck. That's right, I said it. Your boundaries suck. I was one of you for most of my life. Boundaries suck. So now, you take that person and you hurt them. Pain, suffering. We're going to bring this full circle now. You can't get out of bed. You don't know what to do with yourself. How can you even begin to be in another relationship and you can't even get over this one? And it's been a year. Who am I? Right? And if you get coached by me, we gotta do a check. Self-love, self-worth. Is it beaten or is it dead? Value, self-esteem. Because we can't go back outside until we check these things. We can't. Did we identify that we have a child inside of us that's picking our dates? Do we even know that they're there? How long have I been like this and not realizing it? These are the questions that get answered when you get coached, because no one's ever taught us how to do this work. Most of y'all are pairing, pay attention to what I'm about to say. Most of you guys are out dating, pairing a 10-year-old version of you with a 50-year-old man. And you think you can outsmart him. You can't. Until you reparent that child and let them know that you're taking over. I got it this time, little girl. I got it this time, little boy. You've been picking them all this time, and I got to take over, or we're going to keep doing it. You know, a lot of you guys have friends, family members, coworkers that you talk to, and a lot of you can identify what I'm about to say. Put a 1 in the comments if you've ever talked to a grown adult about something about dating and relationships and it felt like you was talking to a teenager. It's like they grew up everywhere else except there. So now, there's a bunch of ones coming in the comments. So let's earmark this. Take this as a lesson. If you know this many people who are like this, imagine how easy it is for a narcissist or some kind of predatory dater to see it too. And you wonder how you got played. It was done on the first phone call. That's why you didn't see it. I need for y'all to catch this. Imagine a world where people have unrealized childhood wounds and they're outside like little kids, wondering why they're getting played so much. And I'm not victim. People, when I talk like this, people say I'm victim blaming. I'm just stating facts. This is not something I have to read or make up. It's very easy to tell. One of the cardinal things that a lot of ladies, where you mess up and where that little kid comes out, when that man does something that's never been done for you before, you act like a little kid going to an amusement park for the first time. Oh my God, no one's ever done anything like this for me before. I don't even know why you, this is who, you, me? I don't, no one's ever, oh my God, like you must really like me. Dang, why are you breathing like that? It's the first time that someone's ever. And the person is like, dang, I thought I was going to have to lie. I don't have to do any of it now. You're done. And like we say on all of these shows, shows and lives that y'all see me on, these manipulators don't have to be good, because the lies that you tell yourself are more powerful than the ones that are coming out of their mouths. It's a hard pill to swallow. And it's not about it being your fault. It's about human behavior. If you want something so bad, you're going to make a picture that's going to cater to your needs versus watching what they're doing. Remember, non-verbal communication is the majority of communication, but it is the part that we very seldom pay attention to. So when you say, I don't know how they did this to me, I don't know, I didn't see it coming, because you wasn't looking at the nonverbal cues. You was listening to the mouth. See, what happens is the words go in the ear. They might hit the brain. They go straight down to the heart. Your eyes don't even, you're not even looking. Because by the time those words get to the heart, you don't care about what you see anymore. And by the time your eyes open up, you're already in a year. I can't leave now because I love him. Y'all know love don't sustain a relationship, right? I'm sorry. Did I? Oops. It don't. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. It's all the daily operations. It's all the information gathering. It's all the making sure that you align along the way. It's not love. It's the information. It's the alignment. The love is just the icing on the cake, but it is not the foundation. It feels good to say. It's a cure-all, right? Hey, I messed up, but I love you. Okay. What? Where's the behavior? Oh, that's right. I'm not paying attention to that. Yeah. Imagine a world where your reason for providing yourself safety is because you've been somewhere so long. Not that you're okay. That's last. As a man, I've done it too many times, so I'm not. Hey, time spent will keep you there, and ain't nothing but time, because the relationship is a lot of times more bad than good, and you just made it functional so that everything will look okay. But so now we talking about your mental health. Imagine, well, y'all, a lot of y'all don't have to imagine the level of anxiety that a lot of you have just going out on dates. The level of stress it causes you, right? Where does that come from? Because it can't come from the people that you haven't met yet. Where does that come from? It comes from a place that you have not addressed. That's why it's so scary. So I'm going to use a word that's not in the dictionary. When I coach you, I help it become unscary. I help you get your power back. Because if you are thinking about dating, if you are dating, and you say the words that I now deem as we just can't say these words no more. What if he or what if she? And that becomes the reason why you don't date, or you have a lot of anxiety and stress over dating. But what if they lie? What if they're narcissists? What if they make me do something I don't want to do? If you keep saying what if they, you need to be coaching. Please do not date. Do not get out off the streets. Off the streets and in my inbox, because we can't say these things anymore. I hear it every week. I know my boundaries and I know my standards and I got the questions I'm going to ask, but what if they, then you're not ready. You don't trust yourself or your boundaries to help you. You now have given them ownership of your boundaries without even meeting them. I hope y'all caught what I just said. When you have this fear of what if they, and you're still dating, you're done. Let it marinate for a second. How is that, Coach Derek? Because you know that you have a deficiency and you're still dating. This is a big gaping hole. Your fear of what they're going to do to you, but you're still sitting in their face, leaves a gaping hole. I didn't say being apprehensive. A real big fear. What if they? What if they? What if they? What if they? But you still outside, you're going to get got with a certainty. Y'all know how some animals can smell fear on you? So can a predator. Same thing. And it's not that you can't be afraid, but when you have that fear, sometimes it's like a signal disrupting your brain. Like all the stuff you worked on, it starts to turn gray. Your boundaries are no longer black and white. Your standards are no longer black and white because you have this anxiety while you're dating them that it's not stern. That's why. It's okay to be afraid, but it's also okay to trust the boundaries that you've established over the person that is a more healed version of you. That's your power. Then you can go outside and say, I'm having fun, and I wish they would, because they can't make me do something I don't want to do. So I'm good over here. You can't make me do nothing. I don't care how cute you are. I don't care what you do for me. You can't make me do something I don't want to do. It doesn't feel right. I'm good. Lose my number. You got to advocate for yourself. So if you can't do that, don't go outside. Your self-esteem is low and you know it. Come work with somebody to help you build it up. It may not be perfect, but you're going to be... It's going to be easy for them to find you. Now, most of the times when I talk about this, people is like, well, if it's like that, I just won't date. Then you didn't get what I said. I'm going to say it real slow for the people that's like, it's just too hard. Pay attention. If you master knowing who you are and what you will and won't do, you won't be spending time with the people that you talk about. You may spend more time alone. You may spend some time but get out early. You still win. So it's only as hard as the places that you spend time in. Because meeting somebody, talking to them on the phone and getting rid of them don't hurt. And if it does, then you need coaching. You follow me? That doesn't mean it's easy. It just means that you're more qualified to find better candidates because you're not staying places too long. So the only complaint you should really have is, well, it's just taking too long. Okay, cool. But all that other stuff, not on this show. I won't let it pass. Well, what if they lie? So if you've taken some of my workshops and courses, I teach you how to read body language, set and structure word choices so that you will see it way before it even happens. Because most people who prey on other people, the playbook is tiny. Let's do a real visual for you right quick that just came to my head. Their playbook has been tiny forever, but your trauma hasn't been. I need for y'all to catch that. Small playbook, big trauma. The playbook doesn't have to be big. It hasn't changed much. And the only way that little playbook can work is if you are broken. Somewhere in the 90-something percentile, and this is not like statistics I pulled off of Google. The reason why I know this is because the same reason why I'm a healing journey coach. Most of us don't know how to heal. So by default, you're carrying something with you. It's easy to find somebody that don't have boundaries. You can find that out in like 24 hours. Not even 24. I'll say 1 to 2 hours you can find out. Not even 24. One day. But guess what? Most of y'all can disqualify somebody in one day. You just don't know how to do it yet. That's why you gotta mess with your coach a little bit. One phone call with the right open-ended questions. One date with the right open-ended questions and an antenna for nonverbal cues will disqualify them fast as hell. No hurt, no emotions, no pain. Let's go back outside again and have some fun. That's where I take you. Because without this training, you're going to be sitting at home punching a wall talking about, oh, the dating pool. Everybody's trash. Oh, my God. Everybody's lying. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Right? But you didn't stop dating. Did you? No. You're still outside complaining at the same time. I wonder what energy that puts out in the universe. So when you come to coaching, I'm going to tell you, stop going outside until you get coached first, because you're not ready. Stay tuned. There's going to be a workshop for that coming up. So what I'm going to do, maybe for the next 5 minutes, 10 max, I will field questions. This is a part of the show. I will field questions that have to do with the topic, or it could be anything related to relationships, single, situationships, married, divorce. I will take a few questions, and then I'm going to get out of here. And I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me, but I will offer that up. And you guys know, if you don't know, let's just talk about some of the things that I have while you guys are thinking of your questions or not. So I am a certified relationship coach, a certified self-healing coach, but I affectionately call myself a healing journey coach now, because that's the bulk of what I help you with. Because without that, the dating stuff is like, it's a moot point in my eyes, because I see the beginning and the end. I can see how you move when you don't have the healing. So I got to work on that first. No matter who you are, we got to see where you are. So I have a library of workshops that handle 99% of the stuff that y'all go through, with the emphasis on the foundation of healing. I have a free online community called Coach Derek's Healing Hub, where we do free Zoom Q&As, where we can actually talk it out, hear each other's voices, and we grow and we hold each other accountable. So that runs most weeks, unless my schedule doesn't permit, because I'm doing a lot of appearances on different podcasts and things like that. So if the schedule doesn't permit, we'll postpone it, and I'll do Q&As on TikTok. So just like I am now. So if you don't know what you need, you can inbox me on TikTok. You can join my free community and message me through my website/app, and we'll get you together. Because most of us, what we doing ain't working, and we keep complaining instead of fixing it. And it's because you don't know how. So let me show you the how. So let me look at the comments here. Hold on, because I got a bunch of windows open here. Hold on. All things, is this Joker? Hold on. Okay, hold on, Nisi. What is the true test that I have enough self-acceptance for it to be easy for someone else to be easy? Huh. Wait. What is the true test that I have enough self-acceptance for it to be easy for someone to... Okay, so this is an interesting question. So let me try to answer it, because it's a Joker question, for sure. The self-acceptance isn't about whether they accept you or not. It's whether if it's good enough for you. And then that attracts, hopefully, someone that will qualify to be with you. It's not about how much of it. It's about how much of it do you need for yourself in order for you to be well-adjusted enough to be outside. And then the person that likes it, the person that aligns with it, because you'll be vetting them, will fit. But don't think that it has to be a certain amount until somebody will accept it. That's not how this works. It's a lot. Hold on. You talking about the one from Nisi? I earmarked it. Is that what you're talking about? We'll answer Nisi's question too, but that was the only other one that I saw. Yeah, I earmarked it and went to Joker because Joker's was a little bit more elaborate and Nisi's was easy. So it's almost like triage, okay? Just for future reference. How to get out of one's own head. And are you talking about as far as like relationships or attaching to someone or in general? I need that qualifier before I can answer it. But if y'all follow me enough, y'all should know what I'm about to say when she does say it. No problem. You talking about in reference to relationship attachment or something like that, or you talking about in general, Nisi? So make sure you guys, if you're not following me, make sure you follow me. Make sure that you click that link in the bio and just check out all the stuff I have to offer. For those of you who want to correct your behavior, want to correct your habits, want to start on a healing journey and don't know how, you need to holler at me. So the answer to both is the same. How to get out of your own head is to number one, understand why you're in your own head, identify what it is, what causes it, right? What's the source of it? Is it relationship stuff? Is it stuff going on in your life? Once you identify it, then you're going to have to work on managing the things that trigger it. But the biggest part of it is you owning up to the fact if you're deficient in something like self-esteem, self-worth, self-love, valuing yourself is a big part of this. That's where you derive your strength from. Those things are where you derive the strength for you to detach from people, to detach from those thoughts, because you have achieved a level of independence in your thinking and in your life. When we are dependent on others, we let our minds ruminate about these situations so much that it affects our mental health. So that's where you start. I know it's a long, convoluted answer, but you know where to go if you need help, Nisi. So I'll take one more question if you have it. If not, we're going to wrap this up. So I try to do these shows at about an hour. Okay, here we go. This is the last one, y'all. So if you have any other questions, don't type them in my inbox. Just you're going to have to catch me if I'm doing another one of these, or if you join Coach Derek's Healing Hub from the link on the site, then you'll be able to attach to the Zooms. And also, I am doing a Zoom appearance on somebody else's platform where we have a panel of men. This is going to be on Zoom this Thursday. That link to that to register is in my bio. So I'm not outside, but I'm outside of TikTok. Like I've been doing. Y'all going to start seeing the stuff being posted, but I've been doing a lot of interviews. So if you guys want to follow where I'm going, just always go back to the link in the bio. Why am I allowing my ex-spouse to heal at my home? Wait. Hold on. Why am I allowing my ex-spouse to heal at my home from drug abuse episode that he had when we were... So your ex is at your house? Is that what you're saying? Why did you let him back in? So those of you who follow me know where this is going to go, right? Because the behavior tells the story, right? It has nothing to do with him, right? So let me let the audience answer this. What type of person is she? Without even knowing who she is, guys, if you follow me, type it in the comments. What type of person is she? Bingo. You're a nurturing empath fixer. So your behavior is predictable. And you were like this before you met him. With 100% certainty, and I don't know you, right? So now that part of you is still clinging on to him because your boundaries are low. For what someone, Donata Russell says. So you're going to have to work on your boundaries because that's where you are deficient in. So people who are like this, empath, fixers, it doesn't mean you can't be nurturing. It means everybody can't get it. People that don't deserve it get it. And it's hard for you to have boundaries because we love so deep. Was he your first and only relationship, or have you been in relationships before and came back around? So if you want help with this, I help people with this. Okay, so then that means there's something that happened in your childhood that made you like this. A people pleaser, or a person pleaser in this case. Doesn't mean anything bad, but we can track everything back to an origin story. And it doesn't mean you had a tumultuous childhood. If you stick with me long enough, you get to learn about what we deem childhood wounds. Yeah. So you have a boundary problem. Yeah. If you want to learn a little bit more, like I'm a coach, so the stuff I do is real deep, so it ain't free. But don't anticipate what you think the price is until you come and talk to me. So, and that goes for anybody. If you don't know what you need, but you know you need something, just inbox me and say, hey, coach, I saw you live. I know I need something. I just don't know where to start. And I will get you straight. Hold on. So I'm going to wrap it up, guys. I appreciate you guys for hanging out on this first episode of Sit Down and Heal with Coach Derek. We are live every single Tuesday at 8 p.m. And we got a lot more healing topics to come. The next week's one, I'm not going to tell you what the title is until I put the post out, but it's going to be real. Y'all need to come back and bring your notepads. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you what you got today, right? This would be like almost like an appetizer to what my workshops are like, right? And you could back me up on this, Boogie. This is kind of feeling like a workshop, but it's not, right? So this is like, if you guys were wondering how my workshops flow, this is very similar to this. But this is not a workshop, and this is not the coaching, guys. Okay? So next week we're going to do yet another show, and just stay tuned. You'll see an advertisement come out about what the topic is. As we go through these next weeks, I'll kind of hone in on letting you guys know in advance. But the first people to know are always the people who join my free coaching community, Coach Derek's Healing Hub. I'm thinking about a name change for that because I like this Sit Down and Heal. I might call my community that too. We'll see. But stay tuned. Y'all know my brain is always moving, and I'm here to serve you. I want to make sure you guys get what you need, because this healing journey thing isn't easy, but it's even better when you have someone to do it with you.